Manny Pacquiao is on top of the boxing world right now. He's being thrown into the conversation now amongst with many others as, you know, is he one of the greatest of all time? After watching him beat Antonio Margarita Saturday, Bernard Hopkins made some interesting observations. He wondered if Pacquiao would ever fight a top-notch African-American fighter. Here's what he had to say. Maybe I'm biased because I'm black, but I do think that a fighter like the Ray Leonards or anyone like that would beat a guy like Pacquiao if they come with their game. Listen, this ain't a racial thing, but then again, maybe it is. But the style that is embedded in most of us black fighters, that style could be a problem to any other style of fighting. Interesting point. Does he have a point?
You know what's interesting? Pacquiao has never beaten or even fought an African American.
That's shocking.
That is very shocking.
I'm shocked by that.
He beat Joshua Clottey, who's a native African, but never an African American. But at the weight classes that he fought most of his career, at the smaller weights, there aren't a lot of black fighters.
That's a good point.
Fighting out there.
Not necessarily true. You forget about Tim Austin. He was there. You forget about Mark, the king of the bantamweights, Johnson. I mean, the guy named was the king of the bantamweights, and he was #1 ranked. And Pacquiao was around. He could have fought him. There are numerous other fighters that he didn't fight. He didn't fight Stevie Forbes. That's off the top of my head. You could put Nate on the list, but we know that even now. He ran from those guys. Okay? The guy who managed Manny Pacquiao pretty much the majority of his career when he was fighting Eric Morales and Barrera and those guys coming up before he was stolen from him, Murad Muhammad. And I quote from FightHype.com from his interview when they asked him about why did he, you know, they did a whole thing with Manny Pacquiao breaking down what happened and what have you about the situation about Manny fighting Floyd Mayweather. This is what he had to say. The problem with that is Mayweather is the guy to beat Pacquiao. See, I started this and I knew what I was doing by keeping Pacquiao away from African American fighters. You got Mayweather, an African American who don't give a damn. He's a faster fighter than Pacquiao is. I think he would have beat the daylights out of Pacquiao, but I knew what I was doing by avoiding those type of fights for Pacquiao. I don't know if that boy is on steroids, but Pacquiao should have said, I will take the test and receive 80% of my money, because right now, Top Rank takes 80% of what Pacquiao makes. He should have made that deal with Arum. I see this from promoters associations, but the problem with that is there's no continuity to make the big fight. Now let's go over Bernard Hopkins' statement, because of what he was trying to say before it was edited. Floyd Mayweather would have beat Manny Pacquiao because of the styles that African Americans fight, meaning black fighters come from the streets in the inner cities. They would be successful. Clottey is black, but he's not a black boxer from the States and have a slick style. The selection of opponents by Manny Pacquiao, meaning that I'm not trying to make it a racist statement, but if he fight guys of color or black fighters, they would present a problem for Manny Pacquiao.
Clottey technically a black fighter?
He's black.
Well, yeah.
He is black. He's not black American, but still, he's black, yeah.
Okay.
But no African Americans. But I think Hopkins is living in the past. I mean, yeah, blacks dominated boxing in the 70s, the 80s, maybe the 90s. But now you got poor fighters who were raised in Europe in tough circumstances coming over here, beating black fighters. Joe Calzaghe, you know, beat Bernard Hopkins. Yeah. Hopkins, I don't think, fought, but he could have beat him if he'd have fought. But Calzaghe won. But Hispanics, Mexicans, you know, guys, whatever the color, who were raised in tough situations are coming up, and blacks aren't dominating the sport as much. So, but beyond that, we all want to see him fight Floyd Mayweather, and I don't think he's the one that's ducking the fight. It's Mayweather, it's not Pacquiao.
No, I know, but it's an interesting, because I think it sort of puts pressure on Mayweather.
I'll tell you what, it adds another layer to this fight if they ever fight, because now people will think, well, he's never has fought
question.
an African American fighter.
Has Manny Pacquiao ever ducked a black fighter?
I don't think he's ducked
He
one.
hasn't fought Mosley, which I don't. He hasn't ducked anybody, but he could fight Shane Mosley,
Good.
and I don't know if he could
I'll
still
buy
fight
that.
Paul Williams.
Maybe.
Paul Williams used to be a welterweight, now he's a
Right.
middleweight.
Okay,
but
to answer this question, I seriously doubt that any black fight fan has been sitting around wondering why Manny Pacquiao doesn't fight any black fighter.
That
But
never
they're all
crossed
sitting
my
around,
mind.
people of all colors are sitting around wondering why Pacquiao and Mayweather don't fight. Whichever side you're on,
Right.
you're wondering why. And I think even a lot of black fans have come around to the point, especially after last Saturday night, of wondering if Mayweather is ducking Pacquiao because he just doesn't want to get his face messed up, and he's going to get hit and hit a lot by Pacquiao.
Can I
Okay.
think the genesis of these comments, maybe I'm giving Bernard Hopkins too much credit here, but I just think, I think Hopkins is
pushing for the
calling Mayweather out, saying, okay, you need to do it for us.
For blacks.
For blacks.
But because to reach back to Ray Leonard and say that someone like Ray Leonard,
yeah,
didn't
I know.
want-
One of the
okay, who's
greatest
like
fighters
Ray
ever.
Leonard?
We don't
Nobody's
have anybody like Ray
I mean,
Leonard.
Ray Leonard versus Pacquiao, yeah, I'd give Ray
I'd buy
the
that
edge.
fight.
You know,
I'd
I
buy
would
the
love
fight.
to see
It would be close.
Yeah,
now.
I'm
It would
not
be
sure.
great.
I love Ray
Yeah.
Leonard, but I'm not sure it'll be a great fight, because I think Pacquiao's better than Roberto Duran.
I agree.
Who beat Sugar Ray. Sugar
Right.
Ray embarrassed him and mocked him in the second fight, made him quit. But he didn't really beat him up. You know, so I love Sugar Ray, but that'd be a great fight. I'm not
Wow,
sure
that
he'd
would
beat
be a great
Pacquiao.
fight.